On in, Mollie Hemingway, we've got questions for you. Can the president's image be saved?
Well, this is a very significant news story, and you know that it is because Senator Grassley is involved. He always works with whistleblowers in a very careful way. And learning that our FBI has information about the specifics of an alleged bribery scheme while doing seemingly nothing about it. There are all sorts of problems related to the Biden family business. Like, everybody understands the way it worked. You gave money to Biden family members in exchange for favors to be named, later. And the idea that we don't already have a special counsel going into this is massive. But as you point out, President Biden could not have a better friend than he has in the media, who will likely do their best to cover up for this.
But this is a real breakthrough. It sounds to me like a real breakthrough. Senator Grassley has seen this document which says this, and this about a criminal scheme. That's a big deal.
Yeah, well, they have been working with high-level whistleblowers inside the FBI and Department of Justice. That is so rare, by the way. You do not get whistleblowers in those departments. But as the Department of Justice has become so politicized, they'll open up an investigation on a Republican on the slightest predicate, but they're not opening up investigations, even though we know that there is this Biden family business. There's all sorts of allegations of wrongdoing, and they leak out that they're thinking about charging Hunter with a few low-level crimes. That's not really going to cut it. They need to be showing real transparency, and I would not count Senator Grassley or Representative Comer out. They clearly are working with a very high-level whistleblower, and they're going to demand answers. Even if the FBI or Department of Justice tries to say, "Oh, we've decided to classify that," that will not satisfy these members of Congress.
I just wonder if the president will ever pay, or the Democrats will ever pay a political price for this. At the moment, they're paying no price at all. That's my opinion. Moving on, Mollie, Title 42 ends a week from today. 1,500 troops going to the border. Is that you've got to send troops down there? Is that an admission of failure?
Well, we've had this White House claiming repeatedly that there's literally no problem at the border. They keep saying that. There's nothing to be concerned about, no worries. They, of course, famously came in and immediately tore down all the protections at the border that had been carefully put in place under the previous administration. And now, all of a sudden, we're sending 1,500 troops. I think that's as much of an admission of failure as you're going to get from this administration. But we really have problems coming after the end of this Title 42.
Mayorkas is going to the border today. The border czar, Vice President Harris, is at the White House chairing an AI meeting. You have any comment?
Well, it's remarkable that Kamala Harris has not had much of a portfolio, and then what she has been given, she's just done a horrible job with, even as they say they're going to make her more profile during this 2024 re-election campaign, since everybody knows President Biden is going to be, 87 at the end of a second term, so they're trying to make her more high profile. But Mayorkas has serious problems. His job is to protect the border. He's basically overseeing the complete overturning of our border to Mexican cartels, which are not groups you really want to be working with. And so I'm sure he's getting down there, but there's a lot more that needs to be done.
They are actively allowing the mass migration of Central America to North America and doing absolutely nothing. They're facilitating it. It's what they want. Mollie, I'm afraid I'm out of time. I could talk about this all day, but it's a great pleasure having you on. Mollie Hemingway, come again, see us again soon. Thank you.